The firefighter was burned while fighting a fire, and he was left with a large scar on his right leg. Although the salesperson worked hard, he still failed to achieve his sales objectives. I observed the boy putting his hand into the woman's purse in an attempt to steal her money. Features of one's physical appearance, such as his or her eye color, are determined by one's genes. The manager demanded the workers to check the products carefully for any defect. This game is for children only. All the participants in this game must be under the age of 12. The kind-hearted doctor decided to open a small clinic in the mountains in order to help the people living there. My father taught me never to make any assumptions. Instead, he said that I should always ask questions to find out the truth. Failure to learn a new skill may cause a person to develop a sense of inferiority. The way a person deals with a crisis often shows his or her true character. Two people lost limbs in the bomb attack. One will be in a wheelchair for the rest of her life, while the other will no longer be able to write. The coach's encouragement has boosted Patty's ego. Now she appears more confident. Stop squeezing the pimples on your face, or they may get worse. What you should do is seek some medical help. Vera noticed that the man standing at the foot of the stairs peeped up her skirt when she was going up. Craig has been confronted with a difficult task. What's worse, he was asked to finish it in 1 week. To everyone's surprise, the top seed lost the tennis match. The defeat bruised her pride so badly that she stopped playing tennis for 2 years.
Miranda bruised her knees when she slipped on the wet floor and fell down to the ground.
Jennifer intended to complete the project early, and she was sure that things would turn out as she had planned. The children beamed with satisfaction while opening their Christmas presents. The young designer embraces change enthusiastically and is always willing to leave his comfort zone and try new things.
It is the custom for Russians to embrace each other with kisses on the cheeks when they greet someone close.
Zach skillfully steered the conversation away from the embarrassing question by starting to talk about his trip to Guam.
It's really dangerous for Grace to try to steer her car and send a text message at the same time.
My hands were sticky after I accidentally touched the glue. The novelist is so popular that most publishers believe if she publishes a book, it is bound to become a bestseller. The expert believed that the country's educational system was deficient and needed to be improved without delay. That was a mere joke. Don't take it too seriously. Chronic procrastinators would inevitably end up feeling overwhelmed by their unfinished work. There has been a sharp fall in oil prices. Hence, many people are rushing out to the gas station to fuel up their vehicles. Despite the heavy rain, many people still took part in the Sun Moon Lake Triathlon. Emily often stirs up trouble in class, so most of her classmates don't like her. Learning that his missing child had been found swept away Samuel's worry. Alice seemed confident before her performance, but in reality she was quite nervous. Work hard, and you will achieve your goal in the course of time. The king wished to have control over all the countries in the whole world. His desire for power knew no bounds. Victoria enjoys her life to the fullest. She lives each day like it were her last. It is somewhat sad that the invention of robots may deprive some people of employment opportunities. Psychologists in the USA once conducted a psychological study called the scar experiment, which stirred up a lot of public discussion. At the beginning of the experiment, the researchers told 10 volunteers that the objective of this experiment was to observe how people would respond when seeing someone with a physical defect, particularly a person with a scar on his or her face. After learning about the purpose of the study, volunteers in this experiment were then placed in separate rooms with no mirrors. There, a makeup artist put an artificial scar on the left cheek of each participant. Then, the participant was shown his or her new look. Next, they were informed that a sticky substance would be applied to their faces for fear that the makeup might come off. The false scar, however, was actually secretly swept away. Later, these people were sent to the waiting rooms of different clinics to experience how people would react to them. Afterward, when they returned to the research laboratory, they reported that people were unfriendly to them and repeatedly peeped at their scars. In reality, these volunteers looked the same as usual. Their consciousness of other people's unkind acts was a result of their own assumption. They believed that the scar would inevitably draw people's attention and cause other people to treat them rudely and offensively. That is, they were influenced by a sense of inferiority. A sense of inferiority, according to the researchers, is strongly associated with the environment in which one develops. If children get criticized continually as they become mature, they are bound to be confronted with an identity crisis and may even cheapen themselves in the course of time. As kids grow up, negative remarks can turn into mental scars. These negative remarks may also bruise their egos, shake their confidence, and hence, affect how they value themselves. Lena Maria's life story is a great example of how environment can be a significant influence on a person. Physically challenged from birth, Lena has only one leg and no upper limbs. Even so, her parents raised her like an ordinary kid for fear of having her believe that she was inferior to others. Her parents' love for her has known no bounds, and this has made her appreciate her life, however limited it might be. What's more, her cheerful mentality has always spiced up her life. For example, one day, a girl in her class intended to embarrass her by sarcastically saying, "Good morning, girl with only one leg." Not even upset, Lena replied with a beaming smile, "Good morning, two-legged girl." Apparently, she has never felt different from others, despite her birth defects. Whether we are facially scarred or physically deficient in some way, others can't hurt our feelings as long as we bravely embrace ourselves and enjoy life to the fullest. However, if we deprive ourselves of our own self-esteem and regard ourselves as unworthy, then a mere pimple on the face can cause us to have insecurity problems in our relationships. Don't let a sense of inferiority, a scar, or even a pimple steer us wrong. After all, people see us just the way we see ourselves.